Alright guys, Friday morning here at the Ramsey Custom Shop. Many of you guys have seen this for a long time in my videos, and today we're going to finally do something with it. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this thing apart and cutting these loose here where it's joined to the end. So I'm probably just going to leave these on intact and just cut it right here. It'll be easier, and just leave that. I mean, I might could use that to lift with at some point, or we'll see. I may use this to lift with the straps. I'm not sure. The only concern I have about using it to lift with is the guy I had working for me part-time welded these, and they were just going to be hold downs for straps, and they didn't need to be that strong. They've got some little light welds on there, but it may hold up well to lift with. So we will check that out. But let me get to work. Let me get my angle grinder out here and see if I can get this cut off, and we'll drag it in the shop and show you what we're going to do with it. I think I've covered this in a couple of videos, but my thought was to use the pallets that are on that trailer, and there's a top one cut off of it, and make them like a drawer system, so I can use all this empty space under here. The other thing is that, I can just load one of those in the back of my truck when it gets empty, go get sheets on it, and then use my gantry crane to lift it out of the back of the truck, and then of course it'll be on wheels. We just roll it on it in there. Sorry about the quick run around shaky cam. And right now, the way I've kind of been doing it is I have to handle it twice. I get it in the back of my truck and then bring it, stack it in here vertically, and then when I get ready to load one on the table, I got to bring it all the way over here, load it on the table. Which, I'm not running a production shop. I probably cut on average 3-4 sheets a week at the most, and sometimes I get projects in where it's more than that, but I just say on average it's probably something like that. And these are a little bit bigger than a 4x8, so I think with a little bit of work they could easily hold 5x10, and there's plenty enough room to hold 5x10 underneath there if I decide to do that. But this would be kind of the first step, at least get one under there, and if I get the drawers on the other one that can be pulled out. My other thought is I've got some rollers, that I could mount here on the front and just pull the drawer out and then have a winch at the back. I made a post on Facebook about using the gantry to pull a sheet onto it, but that's probably pushing my luck there on that. But I could easily mount like a motorcycle winch back here and keep my battery charger back there and a little battery, and use a winch to winch the sheets, so pull a pallet out, throw magnets on it on the top sheet, and then have something up here that would bring it up first and then slide it onto the table. So I mean, 16 gauge 4x8, it's not that heavy. It's a little bit awkward, flimsy. You start getting into anything bigger than that, and certainly 5x10, it definitely starts to get awkward and flimsy and difficult to deal with. But so anyway, let me so what my thoughts are, I've got all these casters up here, is to put 2 stationary casters on the back of it, and 2 fixed movable ones on the front. So that's my plan. Now I think I might have 2 different size casters here. I do, so I'm gonna have to do a little bit of work on how those get mounted. But let me get on that. Ever since I got all this organized and separated out, I've been able to make a lot more use out of getting to individual things. So I've got these long sections of, well, whatever they are, 20 inches long, 3/8 plate that were some offcuts. They dropped out of some project I did, I don't know, months ago. So I think that's going to work out well to make some caster mounts, and you can see that that fits on there good, and we should be able to get 4 out of that pretty easily. The one thing I want to do is on the ones that are going to swivel, I want to space those out more from the sides and the ends, and the ones that are going to be stationary, you know, they can be up against the right in the corner, basically. I need to leave room because I'm gonna let me just take it over there and show you. Sorry guys, I know there's a lot of talking on this video. Everybody already knows all about this and doesn't need me to, you know, like talk you through every little step. But because I want to mount that down in there to help with clearance and all, I you know, want to make sure that that's spaced out. Although with the way this is going to work out, with these being shorter than the other ones, it's probably going to work out just about right to not have to space them out of there. But anyway, let me do a little bit of work off camera, figure out how I'm going to cut this. And the one thing is, I'm not going to cut out a full square, you know, rectangle around the perimeter. I'll just use this plate, put a series of holes in it, and then just do some lines separating it out. And we probably won't have it cut all the way through, and just keep this as one big piece, and we'll come and just nip the edges on the bandsaw real quick. That way we're maximizing this piece that I've got. And yeah. All right guys, see ya. Alright, so we're going to cut some 3/8 plates, so mild steel, and we're going to come down to 3/8. That's going to give us a choice of consumables, and I just put a 65 amp in there, so we want shielded, best quality 65 amp. So we will take a look at that. And I'm just going to take all these standard book settings here, and should be good to go. On the voltage, I'm going to run that a little higher. And then that's going to load in, and then we'll bring in our program that we just created. And you can see our holes with just straight lines instead of complete brackets. And so from here we want to bring that to the origin and then send it to cutting. Now it's in our window, we can preview the next job. So we're all set. So let me get it fired up here and we'll cut it. Alright, just test fitting our holes, and you see they're lining up. I'm going to use 3/8 bolts. I didn't check the opening on these, but the holes I cut in the plates are 1/2 inch, so there's plenty of movement and clearance there to get those bolted on. So let me nip those edges on the bandsaw real quick, and I'll take you over there and show you that. You can do it with a grinder or whatever, you know, if you don't have a bandsaw. one of the things I always forget to do is clean up this table here, and it gets some rust on it. All right, just went back over these, ground them out real quick, and went back over it with the TIG and just burned them in a little bit. All right, that's kind of the idea. You can see we got pretty good room, clearance room there. 16 gauge sheets. I never keep more than 20 at a time, so 16 gauge, 16 of them would be an inch, so a little over an inch. And I got this middle bar here is the one that, and you know, of course, the thing's not sitting level. I'm betting that frame was not ever really all that square, kind of the way it was built. But once it gets some weight on it, my guess is it'll level out. And if not, I'll just shim it a little bit here and there to get it to fit. Well, the one issue definitely is this thing wanting to roll out of here. Now, I used to just have the sheets on a board or 2x4s, you know, so I could get the forklift in and out. And, you know, they sat flat on there, so you didn't have to worry about them wanting to come out. But this would definitely want to roll out. But I got some hooks up in the corners, and so I'll just hook it to that nearest thing with some ratchet straps and pull it tight right there, and that should keep it from, I don't know though, man. This old girl got a lot of power with that chip in there. Just take her easy. All right, I'll bring you back when we get it loaded up. All right, people always want to know, so I'm getting all that they have, 13 pieces, 16 gauge cold roll 4x8, $55 a sheet, $7.15 total. So let's pull through there and get it. All right, that's a wrap on that one. This thing probably needs a couple of helper casters in the middle. And one of these days I'm gonna, speaking of helpers, I'm gonna put my table down. But you can see it's got a pretty good little bow in it there. And so that's kind of the easy project. The harder projects are gonna be the 2 more drawers, because I got 2 more sets of those pallets out there that will go here and here. And what I was thinking on those is that, you know, they'd be like drawers and have some kind of rollers on them, you know, pull them out. And on the end of it, I would have some kind of a drop down wheel, like a third, you know, like on a boat trailer, where you can drop the jack down or the caster down on the front and roll it around, something like that. And have it be long enough that I could get it all the way out. And then something to pull it up on the table with, you know, maybe some kind of a winch in the back, like an ATV winch. I put a post on Facebook about using the gantry to pull it, you know, hook something to it and jog the gantry back and let it pull it on there. But I've got some rollers that I bought a long time ago for another project, and you know, so I could mount the rollers up here kind of high. But I may end up, you know, you guys who watch my video know that I'm in the process of clearing this out. I got another machine that's going to be going here, so I may end up putting just a jib crane in the center that I could back my truck up into from the door here, right there, and unload out of the back of the truck and service that table and the other machine here, because it'll take heavy stuff too. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but I at least wanted to get this part of it done, and I'm happy about that. And at least I have this over here by the table and not way over there. It's not like it's that far away, but yeah. All right, guys, I'll see you.